What if a story written almost 200 years ago holds a disturbing mirror to our immediate future? What if the master of the macabre, Edgar Allan Poe, left us a warning, not about a specific year, but about a timeless and terrifying pattern of human behavior? And what if that pattern is pointing toward a breaking point? Before we continue, give this video a like if you believe Jesus is coming soon. It sounds like a stretch, but the parallels are hard to ignore. For nearly 2 centuries, Poe's story, The Masque of the Red Death, has been seen as a Gothic horror classic. But today, we're going to explore the symbols that connect this 19th century tale to our world, and unpack a popular theory that connects it all to the year 2026. This isn't just a literature lesson, it's a look at a warning that feels more relevant now than ever. To understand the warning, you first have to understand the man. Edgar Allan Poe wasn't just a storyteller. He was a man who knew darkness and tragedy intimately. Born in Boston in 1809, his life started with loss. His father abandoned the family, and at just 2 years old, he watched his mother die of tuberculosis, a cruel disease that would inspire the Red Death itself. Taken in, but never formally adopted, by the Allan family, Poe was forever an outsider. This position gave him a unique and chillingly clear view into the hypocrisies of society. This perspective turned him into a visionary. Long before it was a major genre, Poe was pioneering science fiction. He is also credited with inventing the modern detective story with The Murders in the Rue Morgue, creating the brilliant detective archetype that would later inspire characters like Sherlock Holmes. And he explored psychological horror, writing about the fractured human mind in a way that seemed to anticipate theories of the unconscious by decades. Poe didn't just write to entertain. Many believe he wrote to warn. He saw the patterns in human behavior, the arrogance of the powerful, the illusion of safety that wealth provides, and the cold indifference of the elite in the face of mass suffering. He understood that a reckoning always comes for those who believe they can wall themselves off from the problems of the world. And nowhere is that warning clearer or more urgent than in his chilling 1842 masterpiece, The Masque of the Red Death. The story begins in a land devastated by a plague known as the Red Death. The symptoms are brutal: sharp pains, sudden dizziness, and profuse bleeding from the pores. From the first symptom to death takes only half an hour. Half the kingdom is already gone. But the ruler, Prince Prospero, is described as happy and dauntless and sagacious. Instead of trying to lead his people, he decides to save himself and his favorite nobles. He gathers 1,000 of them and retreats to a fortified abbey, welding the iron gates shut, believing he can lock reality out. Inside, while his kingdom collapses, Prospero and his court throw a massive masquerade ball, a fantasy of endless pleasure. They are completely indifferent to the suffering outside their walls. Sound familiar? It's an allegory that has felt incredibly relevant in recent years. During the early days of global crises, we've seen stories of the ultra-wealthy retreating to private islands and luxury bunkers, convinced their money could buy them immunity. Poe captured this exact brand of elite denial nearly 2 centuries before it became a modern headline. The setting is deeply symbolic. The party takes place across 7 rooms, each decorated in a single color. They are arranged from east to west, like the sun's path across the sky, a common interpretation being that they represent the stages of life. The first room is blue, birth, followed by purple, green, orange, white, and violet. But the final, westernmost room is the one everyone fears. It's draped in black velvet with blood-red windows. Inside this room stands a giant ebony clock. Every hour, when that clock chimes, its deep tone cuts through the music, and the entire party freezes in a nervous silence. It's a constant, terrifying reminder that time is ticking away and mortality is inescapable, no matter how hard they try to ignore it. The symbolism here is incredibly deep, and it points directly to the warning we're about to uncover. Poe's story is a map of human behavior, and we're following it to its chilling conclusion. If you're finding this dive into hidden meanings as fascinating as I do, take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The party hits its peak at midnight. As the clock strikes 12, a new, tall, gaunt figure appears, shrouded in grave clothes. The mask is what causes true horror. It's the face of a corpse, dabbed with the scarlet stains of the Red Death. Prospero, furious that someone would mock him with such a costume, demands the guest be unmasked. But everyone is too terrified to stop the figure as it walks silently through the colored rooms. Prospero, enraged, draws a dagger and pursues the intruder into the final black chamber. But as he confronts the guest, the prince lets out a sharp cry and falls dead. The horrified partiers rush in and tear away the mask, only to find nothing beneath it. It wasn't a guest in a costume, it was the Red Death itself. One by one they all fall, and Poe ends with the haunting line, "And darkness and decay and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all." This is where the story's true power reveals itself. It's not a prophecy in the literal sense. It's a timeless, repeating pattern of human nature in a crisis. The pattern is this. First, a great crisis emerges. Second, the elite, believing themselves superior, abandon everyone else and seal themselves in a bubble of denial. Third, they show breathtaking indifference to the suffering outside. But fourth, and most importantly, reality always finds a way in. Judgment, in the form of the uninvited guest, inevitably breaks through. Death comes for the prince just as it came for the peasant. We've seen this pattern play out through history, and it's why Poe's story felt so prescient during the global pandemic. The tale of Prospero is the story of hubris, a warning that no amount of wealth can build a wall high enough to keep out the consequences of ignoring reality. So, if Poe gave us the pattern, where does the year 2026 come from? The answer is not from Poe. It comes from us, right now. The year 2026 has emerged as a strange focal point for modern anxieties, with Poe's story often used as a framework to interpret them. For example, a number of unverified claims attributed to the mystic Baba Vanga, known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, have gone viral online. These posthumous prophecies for 2026 include major global conflicts, catastrophic natural disasters, and a turning point where artificial intelligence surpasses human control. Whether you believe such claims or dismiss them as internet folklore, it's undeniable that a cultural buzz has formed around 2026, tapping into our collective anxieties about war, climate change, and technology. What's fascinating is how perfectly Poe's allegory provides the lens for these modern fears. The Mask of the Red Death serves as the perfect story for our times, focusing not on what the crisis is, but on how humanity, and especially its leaders, might react when the clock strikes midnight. So, did Edgar Allan Poe hide the year 2026 in a secret code? No. He did something far more powerful. He crafted a story so profoundly true to the flaws of human nature that it resonates more strongly today than ever before. It's a timeless, chillingly relevant allegory about arrogance, inequality, and the certainty of a reckoning. He saw that the greatest threat isn't always the plague outside the walls, but the moral decay happening within them. The ultimate warning Poe left for us isn't about a specific date, but about the danger of closing our gates, believing we are separate from the suffering of others, and thinking we can party while the world burns. As we look toward 2026 and the real challenges facing our world, the question Poe's story forces us to ask is this: have we learned anything from Prince Prospero's folly, or are we too living in a masquerade, trying to drown out the sound of a clock that is ticking for all of us?
This book is your beginner's guide to understanding Scripture. Find peace, build relationships, and discover purpose in today's world. Ready to decode the Bible? Find Bible Decoded available on Amazon now.
If this content blesses you and you'd like to support our mission, you can buy me a coffee or give a super thanks. Every contribution helps us create more content to inspire and uplift others. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos.